All right, hi guys. My name is Dylan. So welcome to our weekly trading forecast video. All right, so this is JJ with me. All right, so let's probably go and take a look at the dollar index. All right, so this is the dollar index. Right now we are looking at the weekly charts, and let's take a look at the monthly chart first. Since we just go into a new week, a new month, the month of April. So we can see that in the month of March, right, the volatility is really crazy. Okay, and this is the I forgot what it's called, but anyway, you can see long upper shadow and long lower shadow. But the beginning of this week, or rather the beginning of this new month, we saw that the dollar actually started to climb in a very strong manner. So it does seem that the dollar index will still continue to climb, and I won't be surprised if, let's say, within the next week, next 1 to 2 weeks, the price continues to break the new high. Yeah, because I think that most likely most people are still trying to hold cash. The stock market, although it has recovered like 20 to 30%, but it is just a temporary recovery. Please don't see that as a rebound. We can see that the COVID-19 situation is not getting any better. In fact, it's still getting worse. More people are getting infected, and death rate is also increasing as well. So this is not going to be nice. This is not going to be over any sooner. So for the dollar index, if we look at the day charts, previously after the dollar has reached a high of 103 or slightly higher, it came all the way down. I think it recovered about close to 50%. In fact, more than 50%, almost back to the 61.8% level. But then the price found support, right? It came up first, and on the second day, we saw that there's a bit of a resistance came down, but the price closed higher. So eventually, you can see that in the day chart, all the lows are getting higher. So this is quite a steady uptrend, I would say, and this is gonna help the dollar to continue to appreciate. In fact, in the 4-hourly chart, we can see there is a rising channel as well. Okay, so we can see the price is still rising. My take for this week, for this coming week, is that dollar will continue to climb, but whether it will reach the previous high, that's still something we got to see, because once the price reaches this zone, somewhere right here, okay, there will definitely be a strong selling pressure. This is an important supply zone. As we can see that as the price reaches the top right here, it range, and then it's actually forming something like a symmetrical triangle, okay? And then the price, after which it broke out of this triangle, retraced upwards, pull back, and then it got resisted, and then it started to go down all the way. So this zone right here, this breakout area, and wherever it started to fall, this will be a very important level for us to look out for any selling pressure. Now, why is it that the dollar index is able to climb, is able to find supports? It is also because in the day charts, it is actually seen supported in a very critical demand zone right here. This is a very critical demand zone. As you can see, this is a inside bar formation, and the price broke upwards, which is why in this area there will definitely be strong buying pressure as well, and that is one of the reasons why it causes the price to climb, apart from the fundamental reasons that the dollar will still be climbing in the near future. Okay, so in terms of trading wise, if you're trading dollar index, I think it will eventually break higher, and possibly break above the trend channel right here. So a good price to look for is if, let's say, it started to come down a little bit, then we can try to find buy opportunity. It's just right at the bottom, somewhere between 100 to 100.3, and that will also help to complete two wave of retracement, forming a AB equals CD pattern. And usually this is what I like to look for. in terms of looking for sharp patterns to buy or to sell. So, and just nice, this is quite a good a temporary, a very small demand zone for us to buy the dollar again. All right, and in terms of the targets, just like I said just now, it will be the important supply zone at the top between 101.4 to 102.1 or 2, right? So that is for the dollar index. So any insights you want to share for the dollar index, JJ?
Pretty much the same as yours, and because my focus is on the euro dollar, it's a very almost deeply correlated with the dollar.
Yeah, sure. So let's say, since you are actually focusing on the euro dollar, maybe let's switch to your screen and we can talk about the euro dollar.
Yeah, so on my screen you can see that the euro dollar the movement is almost identical to the dollar index. So on Friday last week where the market closed, this was where it closed, and it did find resistance here, which was also near the 61.8 level before starting to fall again. And when it broke this rising trend line here, it started to form this downward channel. So my focus this week will be to sell the euro dollar again. I'm aiming for somewhere around this level. If prices come back here, I think it will be a good opportunity to sell, and with the target being at the previous low right here. So I think when prices come here, you will definitely find some support temporarily. So we see when prices reach this level, how it reacts and how strong the support is right here.
Okay.
So then this will be my focus for euro dollar.
Okay. What else are you focusing on?
Dollar CAD.
Dollar CAD. Okay. I think we can talk about dollar CAD as well.
Yeah, for dollar CAD, I've noticed that in this week there was not much movement as price has just been consolidating and it formed this triangle here. And even with oil prices rising and recovering around 30% this week, back to almost $29, we can see that the Canadian dollar isn't strengthening much as the dollar CAD is still forming higher lows. So this week, the very important focus for dollar CAD will be on Wednesday, which is the OPEC meeting. It's expected that they will cut the supply of oil barrels up around 10 million barrels a day. But we'll have to see the outcome of that meeting, and I think the meeting will set the direction for dollar CAD in the short term. But my trading plan will be, if dollar CAD before the meeting it breaks upwards, right? I would buy the dollar CAD with the immediate resistance being this zone here. And I think if price can reach this level, it will also be a very good opportunity to sell. That's if the meeting goes well and the Canadian dollar strengthens. That will be that will be my focus for dollar CAD.
All right, so I think that is a pretty good analysis as well. Yes, the oil prices recovered a lot last week, and but however we don't see the Canadian dollar strengthening at all. That's definitely because the dollar is also strengthening, which is why at the very beginning we talk about the employment change in the NFP. Although the data is really weak, it's way weaker than the forecast, but however dollar is not weakening. In fact, it is actually still appreciating. All right, so actually I got people asking me how do you see the NFP, do you have any trading plan for that? Now one thing is that in the past NFP is a very important data that many people will trade the news, and it's very simple. You just need to set buy stop and set sell limit, sell stop, and for some reason once the data is out, you will just go one direction. But that is something that only happens many years ago, like I think 8 or 9 years ago. So it's already over. Right now, the market is not so focused on the employment data. People are focusing on something else. Like before this COVID, people are focusing on inflation, people are focusing on interest rate. Nobody is really so focused on the employment data, especially for the US. Well, the US, the labor market has already recovered a lot. And right now, it is just natural that the employment data has gone sour that much, because like I said just now, there's businesses are closing, nobody's working, people are claiming for unemployment claims, stuff like that. All right, so we have shared about the dollar index, euro dollar, dollar CAD. Right now I'll switch back to my screen, and let's talk about the gold. All right, so this is the gold chart. Okay, so I actually plotted something here last week, I think so. Okay, so yeah, I was actually looking to see the formation of this harmonic pattern, which it didn't really happen because it only reaches somewhere near the 70.6% level, and then it started to consolidate, and there was a break below. So we want to see this thing in a new perspective. So let's just remove all the all the lines. Okay, so looking at the monthly chart, all right, let's look at the monthly chart first. So last month, you can see there's huge jump, huge drop, and then the price came back to somewhere neutral. And this, in the beginning of this month, we see the gold price started to climb again. But however, it is a very small climb, okay, and we got to see what's going to happen next. Now, the thing is that if you look at the gold price in the monthly chart right here, actually straight away you can also see some form of harmonic patterns right here, which is in the monthly charts, right? Very huge back pattern. Okay, it's already at 75.2%. Of course, like I've shared most of the time, it may go up to 88.6. But again, this is just chart patterns. Will it really go to the 80.6% level? I'm not sure. But however, one thing can be sure is that looking at a chart like this, we know that the price is pretty much overbought at this moment, and we haven't seen any very strong selling pressure that's going down yet. So we need to see it. We need to take a look at the smaller time frame. So in the weekly charts, what we are seeing is that last 2-3 weeks ago, okay, after gold climbed to the highest at 1703, price came down all the way, and as of current, the price has recovered. Close to 70.6%. Right, looking at the day charts, okay, the appreciation was really quite strong, I would say. Okay, but however, when it reaches the level of 1,600 to 650, in between this range, price went to a consolidation, right, into a somewhat like a symmetrical triangle. Okay, let me just plot it out. And the price actually chose to break downward first. Okay, so you can see there's a very strong break downwards, and then I just want you to focus on this lower shadow. Okay. Now, why is it that this lower shadow is something quite important for us to know? It's because, right, if you are trading, okay, and you've been waiting for an opportunity to buy or sell gold, if you were to see such a strong downward trend that's going down, right, definitely it will attract some people to come in and try to sell. But when this kind of thing happens and people try to hold their trades, when it pulls back to a higher price, people might thought that it might be a better price to sell again, and then there will be a lot of sellers coming in again. Then after that, it went to another consolidation. Okay, people will try to pop in again, but then the price just keep on going higher and higher. So which means to say that a lot of buyer will be somewhere in this area, but have all been trapped up till now. So there's a good chance that definitely more than 50% of the selling orders has been wiped out due to stop loss or due to fear. Trade has been closed manually, and we can see that during the very last hour, we can see the price has started to come off a little bit. So I think in this case, right, for the current level we are seeing right now for the gold, okay, right at the top here, I think is a considerably important supply zone to look out for. Okay, so price just nice touches this zone and start to come off a little bit. So actually for this week, I'm still, because I think that when this trend comes out, right, it's actually telling us that the gold price may start to fall again. I've been sharing about gold price might still go down further because more people might still want to liquidate gold for cash at this moment. And since the gold has retraced so much above the 1,700 level, I think it's a good price to sell at a high price again. So which is why this happened, but it pulls back right now, and I think the pullback has been enough, all right, to wipe out most of the sell orders, and price might continue to fall from here onwards. Okay, and so in fact for this week you might want to short the gold as long as it is still at a pretty good price above 1,608, or you might want to wait for the price to come down, all right, come downwards, okay, probably break below the bottom right, the support right here at 1,607, okay, then wait for the short pullback and try to sell the gold again. Okay, this is something that you can try, but nevertheless, having said that, of course, we do not know whether the gold price will still go higher, okay, because if you look at the higher price, then there is also a very important supply zone right here, and this will be the I think the final zone for us to look to sell again. And if it breaks higher, then there's a very good chance gold will continue to climb and break new high beyond 1,700. All right, so that is my take for the gold. And if you were to short, of course, do look out for area right here. Okay, 1,570 to about 1,584. This is an important demand zone. Okay, it might also go into a bigger symmetrical triangle right here. Okay, who knows? Okay, it's hard to say. So somewhere right here, you have to be careful. Okay, if you're shorter, you might want to exit some of the position right here. Of course, if it goes down further, then the final target should be somewhere right here. It's close to 1,005, around the 1,005 level. All right, so that's my take for the gold. Of course, last but not least, we'll talk about the Dow Jones. So the Dow Jones, right, if you look at the monthly charts, of course, we can see that it fell from the top of somewhere near to 30,000, okay, all the way down to somewhere near to 18,000. Okay, price has actually pulled back a lot. But however, in the beginning of this month, we can see that the Dow Jones is starting to come down. It's starting to come off again, it's starting to fall. So let's take a look at the day charts. All right, so in the day chart, we can see price recovered, okay, all the way back to this. This is the 20 moving average. It found resistance, okay, the high started to come down lower as well. So in the 4-hourly chart, we can see that the price has been ranging within the within this level. Okay, so it is between the price of about 22,650 and 20,600, okay, in between this range. So something to take note, right, is that so when the price actually go up, we can see a channel is forming right here, and then the price actually chose to break below. However, it is a little bit kind of like a fake break because it came down and then it started to pull back all the way. So of course there will be sellers being trapped here. Price went all the way up. Most of the sellers has been wiped out. Price came down again, but in a very slow fashion. Okay, finally reached the bottom right here, 20,800 or 20,900 about the price. Volatility has been low. Buy and sell doesn't come out as a winner at all. So I think for the Dow Jones, right, definitely the previous wave of downtrend is just the beginning. I definitely still believe that the stock market will continue to plunge, will continue to crash even lower. So in terms of looking for the opportunity to trade again, I'll definitely be looking to sell. Maybe let's take a look at the 1 hourly charts. So in the 1 hourly charts, we can see a very small range right here. So I think right now it all depends on where the price will choose to go. If let's say it really started to break low, then I think the previous break right here will be validated. Okay, the downtrend will carry on. So if it's able to break below this zone, then hopefully we can look for a short pullback. Okay, before we continue to sell the Dow Jones, and just watch out for this level right here. Okay, between 19,300 to about 19,600. This will be a very good price to take profits if you are selling. But if let's say the price were to break higher, okay, I wouldn't choose to buy. I will wait for the price to reach this level right here. This will be the next important supply zone for us to go to look for a selling opportunity again at a higher price. And in fact, this could be yeah, you can just plot this trend line out here, and you can see this is a pretty good price to sell the Dow Jones again. Yep, so that's for the Dow Jones. And is there anything else you want to share, JJ?
No, that's all. Only just to add on that for dollar CAD, the with the OPEC meeting being held next week, I think everyone must be careful if they trade the dollar CAD, because the supply cuts are not confirmed, and it's only been said to be cut from around 6 million barrels to 10 million, but the outcome has not yet been confirmed. So I think with the dollar CAD, with its current price formation, I think it's good for like a straddle trade where you can either buy or sell the dollar CAD depending on which direction it breaks out of, and with the take profit levels that I mentioned just now.
I think for the dollar CAD, definitely is something we want to really look at it, because you can see that the whole consolidation is finally coming to an end. It's actually coming to an end already. And technically speaking, right now it does seem that it is slightly more bullish, and I think something like this will happen. There might be a fake break. Okay, I think JJ were talking about if it breaks upward, you might want to buy. On this part, I might have a little bit of different perspective. I may just wait, okay, until it comes back to the previous high right here, because within right here, right, is quite a good supply zone to sell again. But of course, buying will not be a problem, but you have to buy after it breaks already. I think very small pullback, you can start to buy again, and hopefully the price reaches this level. Then after that, you can just take profit right here. And eventually, I think definitely, of course, I'm not sure, but I think very high chance the supply of the oil will be cut finally, so that they can save the oil price. Let's quickly take a look at US oil. All right, so because actually in the monthly charts, in the beginning of this month, we saw that there's a pretty good commitment to on the buyer side and try to push the price pretty high. And in the weekly chart, this is a pretty good reversal formation. So I think there's a good chance for the price to recover a little bit more, and that will definitely help the dollar CAD, or rather help the Canadian dollar to strengthen, and eventually dollar CAD will come down significantly, right? But how much, that I'm not too sure. So definitely, I think there will be a chance to do so. Yep. So that's all for my side as well. All right. So with that, we have come to the end of this weekly trading forecast. So thank you for watching, and we will see you again next week.